Welcome to Stitch Starters. Before you begin your stitching journey, let's get to know the tools that will help you bring your designs to life.
When it comes to those bare necessities, those simple bare necessities of sewing life, you absolutely need a tape measure if you want to sew clothing. It's great if they have both centimeters and inches on either side, and it's also great if they're 60 inches long. Tape measures are very versatile. I've seen sewers use them in all capacities. I can remember hacking away through my fabric with dull scissors, and it ain't fun. So get yourself a pair of sharp scissors to use solely for fabric, as paper or anything else you might want to cut will dull them quickly, and you don't want to work with dull scissors. The most basic essential is a supply of sewing needles. A pack of sewing needles retails between $1 to $3. These are actually a pack of vintage needles that I got secondhand, but any sewing supply will have varying qualities of needles. These are handy to have around for buttons, basic mendings, and sometimes some fine sewing when finishing garments. If you don't want to invest in a machine just yet, you can hand sew, but a machine will cut down time immensely and just make life so much easier. If you can't sew without thread, so you'll need to purchase polyester sew all thread. This will work for 90% of garments you may sew. I would start with a white and black spool. I have these big ones that I got in a sewing supply store. Pins are essential. They help keep your fabric in place as you sew, and you can also pin pattern pieces to your fabric to keep them in place as you cut. For pin storage, I love this wrist pin cushion, which is $5.99. It makes these pins so easy to use and keep track of as I move from my cutting table to the sewing machine. I highly recommend. You want something that can mark your fabric that will either brush away, melt away, disappear, or easily wash away. I have some Tailor's chalk, Tailor's wax, a chalk pencil.
And that's your basic stitching toolkit. Once you're comfortable with your tools, stitching becomes smoother and more fun. Now you're ready to dive into your first project with confidence.